When someone says beauty influencer, who do you think of? For many, it's Jooshica. At the surface, she seems like the dream influencer.
Hi Jooshies! Happy New Year! Yay!
She's good at connecting to the audience, she's very creative, and she's very open about her insecurities, which a lot of girls can relate to as a lot of her audience are young.
Oh, the packaging is really cute. Like, girl, it's in a star shape.
She's almost like that older sister. You can relate to her in so many different ways, and she gives advice to so many young girls. She seems very inspiring. But the truth is a little bit darker than that. She is far from what she portrays herself as. She is basically the opposite of everything she represents. So in this video, we'll be going over why a lot of people hate Jooshica. From her insanely dangerous advice and takes,
Guys, has anyone told you you are pretty until you talk?
To her hidden ads and overall her spreading insecurities to young girls. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot one. Her hint at, let's just say, racism. Let's just uncover yet another bit hypocritical and a little toxic body influencer. I was, as some of you probably know, inspired by Kelly Scalos to make this video, so shout out to Kelly Scalos with yet another very well-researched video. I really appreciate it, and with that, let's get into it. But firstly, I have a 30-second announcement. You still have time, if you haven't in the last few videos, to support Mustafa, the Palestinian I've discussed, and his 2 daughters. Right now, he has to deal with constant food shortages, as well as power outages, and constant bombings. You still have an opportunity if you don't have money to spread the word, and the donation link is in my description. Remember, any amount helps. $5 to $10, literally any amount. You'll be supporting his 2 young daughters through the toughest time of their life. You will literally change your life with $5. I beg you to consider, and with that, let's continue with the video. So Jooshica is an insanely popular YouTube Shorts creator and TikToker. She's blown up over the years, and she's built a very, very large platform for herself. She also posts some long-form videos, but mainly she posts on TikTok.
You better work.
Overall, as I've said just now, she has received a lot of success over the years, but not without backlash. She has received, especially recently, a ton of backlash. Backlash coming through other TikTokers making videos criticizing her, and her own TikTok comment sections calling her out for some of the questionable things she said and overall commented that could spread some pretty sad and overall dangerous information.
I know you guys are all planning for a glow up and looking to just change up your whole makeup routine. And you guys know I always try different makeup products, so I am probably someone to ask.
At the surface, Jooshica does a lot of things that a lot of other influencers do that's very effective. She makes it like this whole, you can trust me, I can help you, you're insecure, I can help you kind of message. And it makes young girls and overall young teenagers connect to her because they're like, yeah, I can talk to this person. Like, I have this parasocial relationship. They could help me be less insecure. And this is a method a lot of influencers have used, specifically usually body or beauty influencers, because it really helps them have a loyal audience. And it is an effective method. The problem is, though, if you are problematic or say some problematic things, this audience can believe what you say regardless. They're like a following that will believe everything you say. So if you say something that can make them want to change themselves in ways, it can be very, very dangerous. I want to make something clear that I'm not fully attacking Jooshica with this video. I'm simply trying to critique her. I don't hate her as a person, so please don't think that. I don't hate her. She is both a victim and a person causing a lot of damage. She is a victim in the end, but she's also someone causing damage. So please don't take this as me saying she's an awful person that deserves to not exist. That's simply not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is some of the things she said are very, very questionable. Let's get into one of the first controversies.
Guys, has anyone told you you are pretty until you talk? Well, not because of your voice or how you talk, but more necessarily because when you talk, your face is simply not flattering at all.
Since Jooshica is all about telling her audience how to be less insecure, or in other ways, how to look prettier, look better, be less insecure from looking prettier, she decided to release a video telling people, especially girls obviously, that they look prettier when they're not talking. And for obvious reasons, I feel like this is kind of problematic, mainly because this just seems to be targeted towards women especially, and that's already like, it feels kind of sexist in a way. Under this video, rightfully so in my opinion, all the comments were against her. They were commenting things like, can we live? Can we have a break? Can you leave us alone? And I fully agree with them, mainly because like girls are insecure enough, especially when they're teenagers. They don't need someone saying every time you talk, you look ugly. Like that's just like, that is such a bad message to send out. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Girl, I got that face card, but when I talk, I literally look so ugly. When I talk, I use the muscles on my lower chin right there. And it's been getting worse and worse throughout the year.
And I can sense the comments from a mile away. She's allowed to be insecure. Why are you hating on her? People are always going to be, yeah, I get it. But at the end of the day, like, this isn't just specifically her insecurity. She's saying that any girl specifically that talks looks ugly. Like, this is such a bad message to send out because once again, we already know that young girls are insecure. They don't need someone saying every time they talk, they look hideous, especially when you're a beauty influencer. Like, this is the last thing you should be telling young girls. And a few people on TikTok responded to her and they were, let's just say, not very happy about this toxic message she decided to send out.
Guys, has anyone told you you're pretty until you talk? No, not really, because I'm not even pretty when I don't talk. But also, can we just live life? Can I just live life? Can I exist? Am I allowed to just exist?
I have two things to say about this video. First of all, I think she points out something really, really good I didn't even notice when I first saw Jooshica's video, is that if pretty girls see this and are insecure, imagine what girls who don't consider themselves pretty think. Like, they see this video and they're like, great, I'm not pretty when I don't talk, and now I'm not pretty at all. Like, what can I do? Like, I'm even worse when I talk. I guess I can never talk. Like, it's just like, it's such a toxic message to send out. And secondly, I just hope this girl gets, like, feels better about herself eventually, because personally, girl, like, I know you'll never see this video, but you are, in my opinion, you are really, really pretty, and there's nothing wrong with you. I really, really hope that you become less insecure, because really, like, this mindset, especially probably from the internet, is just so toxic, and you are literally so pretty. Now, let's step into yet another but much bigger controversy that Jooshica has gotten herself into. And it's kind of revolves around plastic surgery. Now, I'm going to say something because I know people are going to come for me for saying this. I have nothing against plastic surgery. As much as, like, you guys are going to get mad at me for or not saying this, I have nothing against plastic surgery. I have something against making people insecure enough to get, if that makes sense. Like, forcing girls into hating certain parts of their body into getting plastic surgery. If you want to get plastic surgery, like, you just want to because different reasons, sure. But if someone else wants to influence you, like, that's your goal, to influence someone, make them insecure enough to get plastic surgery, that's kind of where I have the problem.
And in that video, she got her eyes and nose done, and she said her left eye was droopy. Now, in that video, I couldn't see anything that insinuated that her eyes were droopy.
And basically what Kelly Scalos is saying in this video is that she released a video a while ago. This story of her plastic surgery starts off kind of sad because she talks about in an older video, Jooshica specifically talks about an older video, how she got a bunch of TikTok comments saying something was wrong with one of her eyes. She ended up getting surgery after this. And this is what I mean when people online basically bully you or harass you into getting surgery, like make you insecure. That is where I have the problem, because this wasn't natural. Like, she didn't naturally feel comfortable changing herself. She was kind of forced through this pressure, through these comments. And I feel like that shouldn't be very controversial to say that. That is a very, very sad, like, I feel bad for her. Like, I don't see anything wrong with her, but I understand I can't be in her mind. I can't be in her body. Like, I understand that a lot of pressure can make you do this. So it starts off very, very sad. And she really is the victim in this part of the story. The problem really began when she started to release long-form videos specifically telling young girls that they can have an easy glow-up, 5 easy tips. And in this video, most of the tips would be to get plastic surgery. And reminder that her audience is very young. And for the 15th time, because I know people are going to come for me, I don't have anything against plastic surgery, but I do have something against shaming people into getting it. Throughout this video, she brings out multiple things that are quote-unquote wrong with people's bodies and, like, different things with their nose, their face overall, which could cause someone who's not insecure to become insecure. So someone who was never worried about their nose could all of a sudden become worried because of this video. And that's where I have a problem when an influencer is pushing an audience that probably trusts them into wanting to change themselves drastically at such a young age over basically an insecurity. And once again, I do not hate her as a person because she seems to be a victim. These comments were coming for her. Her mind has been influenced by this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make an excuse for the things she's spreading.
Progress of whether my balding is getting better or not. Okay, so this is what my bald spot used to look like before 1 month ago when I found out. And this is what my bald spot looks like right now.
And I'm not coming for her in a way that she's open about it, because she herself has gotten plastic surgery. And once again, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants, and I don't have anything against that. I am saddened by the comments about her eye, because once again, that just is very, very sad that she wasn't really insecure about that before the comments, but those comments caused her to get a surgery. That does make me sad, but at the end of the day, if she's an adult, she can do whatever she wants. So I have nothing against the surgery she's gotten for herself. But she has been caught lying in previous videos about being natural when she simply isn't, which once again can be kind of misleading, especially to a young audience.
Yes, girl, I did, but I did not get anything done to my jaw. My jaw is mine, and she is from my mommy.
While also admitting to getting jawline work and facial enhancement.
It is simply, Kelly put it best, very misleading to tell your audience that some stuff is natural that isn't. Because once again, it's not like shameful to get plastic surgery, but it is shameful to shame people into getting it or to lying if you have it or not. And that is simply what she's doing. She's setting unrealistic body standards. I think a really good example I could give personally of of shaming into having an insecurity is this one kid in my class likes to draw, those artists that draw exaggerated features. He basically likes to do that, and he'll just draw on a little note card of random people. And one time he was like, "Oh, I'll draw you," and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I don't remember exactly because I've forgotten, but he drew I think it was my nose or my ears. Maybe it was my ears really big or something. And I was so insecure about them for a month after that. And I was never insecure about them until he did that. So it is so easy to make someone insecure about something by simply pointing it out and be like, "Oh, this is big. This is a little big. Oh, your chin's a little weird." It's just so easy to do, and it is so dangerous, especially when you have such a large platform. Now, we'll get into the ad placement and the lies about ads and more of the plastic surgery after we get into the whole racism. Now, this is fully based on my opinion. If you disagree, please respectfully let me know in the comments, but this is kind of on my opinion, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Because I get it, some of us put on foundation, we make our skin look lighter, but when she's comparing herself to someone with very darker skin, it just feels very, very R to the T. YouTube is very picky with me. Don't come for me, please. But it just feels that way. This is my opinion once again, but am I wrong? This is very, very, very racist.
What about it? I feel like everyone is so pressed when an Asian girl goes a shade or two lighter, but they literally don't say anything when a white girl goes 1 or 2 skin tone darker.
It's mainly because colorism is such a serious problem. In many different countries, people don't want to look darker skin. That is a serious thing when it comes to race. I know in India, that is a serious problem. Young girls are pressured to make their skin as light as possible. That is the expectation in India. It's a serious, serious problem. And when you make yourself, a video comparing yourself to someone with very much darker skin and then you with very white, it's not really the same as someone making themselves tanner. That's just not the same thing, because it is actually a problem worldwide. It's a serious problem right now.
For that tan makeup look. So in a lot of Asian countries, it is actually normal to go a shade or 2 lighter.
Just because it's normalized doesn't make it right. Once again, in India, people want to look as white as possible. That is a thing that is pushed upon a lot of girls. I know because a girl I know from school literally told me that she grew up in India, and that is the stereotype she told me. Your girls are pressured to look as white as possible. That doesn't make it right. Making girls insecure doesn't simply make it right. Looking tanner, sure, yes, you can have your arguments there, but at the end of the day, it just feels very anti-dark skin to do this, and it just comes across as very R to the T. And I will cut her some slack because, once again, as she says, she grew up in an Asian country, so it's probably more normalized for her, and it doesn't seem like this way, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, it is very R to the T, because you could just see the TikTok she made comparing her to someone. You cannot tell me that isn't wrong. That's not right. That's not just her putting on foundation to make herself it feels very, very, very disturbing.
And I don't see why there's an issue with that. Have to match all the time, because there are a lot of different makeup looks where you can go 1 tone darker.
Once again, there isn't really much wrong with putting on foundation and putting on makeup. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with makeup, but when you are comparing yourself to someone with much darker skin in a TikTok and clearly shaming them, that is just wrong. Like, at the end of the day, that TikTok you made is very, very wrong, and it came across as R to the T, and I mean, you defending it by saying white girls don't get hate doesn't really change that. If a white girl did make a video where she's tanning herself and the other half was obviously her, like, trying to look like an Asian and shaming the Asian, yes, that would be very, very R to the T, but I haven't seen that because I mean, maybe if someone has seen that, let me know. I might not be educated enough on this, but I just do know that there is a strong R to the T when it comes to people with darker skin worldwide. And once again, she probably just doesn't understand as much because it's more normalized. So I will cut her some slack there, but at the end of the day, it just seems very R to the T to me.
Because I want to glow up. Well, girly, I got you. I am going to recommend you guys all the products that I've used well last year in 2024. Look at how pretty and perfect my makeup looks today.
Another serious problem with Jooshica's content is that she pretends to be open. In ways, she is open
To really help you improve on your makeup skills and help you with that glow up for year 2024.
Kind of like what I said earlier in this video, she's open about her plastic surgery, which once again, nothing wrong for the millionth time because I just can see that video from a mile away coming at me. Oh, she's anti-plastic. No, I'm not for the 15th time. I'm just anti making people insecure and forcing this on them. But once again, she's open about that, which is good. She's open about a lot of this. She's open about her insecurities, but in other ways, she's not open. Kelly Scalos in her video, which once again, make sure to check it out because it is super, super well made. Kelly Scalos points out that she's a bit dishonest and kind of hides ads and pretends that they are real promotions. Like, she pretends like she actually was affected by this brand and hides the fact that they're ads.
She posted a video which is a clear Jimmy So ad, and she said that's what gave her clear skin. If you want to have clear skin like me, use this product. And each and every one of the products were from Jimmy So. Never did she ever say for once that this video is sponsored.
And don't get me wrong, she is far from alone. Tons of influencers do this. Whenever they're advertising, I don't know what it's called, but that one stupid drink and all the mukbangs and stuff, people don't disclose all the time and it annoys me, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't call them out just because a lot of people do it. Because overall, it's just very dishonest and it's becoming more and more of a problem as time goes on.
On the 14th of November 2023, that is just a month right after she posted that video talking about how Jimmy So changed her skin. She then posted another video talking about how these new products are the ones that gave her clear skin. In this video, she was promoting Yes Style, and never once did she ever mention that the products were sponsored. And in this video, she claimed that these products gave her K-pop idol skin. But just a month ago, she was saying almost the exact same things.
And I know I'm like stealing her video at this point because I did clip a lot of it, but I feel like every single word, like she just put it perfectly here. It's just, she's completely contradicting herself, and that can be dangerous when you one week say this and then the next week say that. It becomes blatantly obvious it's an ad, and that's just dangerous because if an influencer mainly only cares about money, who knows what could be in these products? Who knows how dangerous or how effective they could be? It's just, she's not reliable anymore.
They're still going to cheat on you, and they're still going to find ways to hurt you.
And I feel like I shouldn't have to say this or make it any more clear, and this shouldn't be controversial, but for an influencer that literally, like, spreads information to a young audience and heavily influencers and acts like a bigger sister to a younger audience, this is so dangerous because if she only cares about money and she prioritizes that and will not disclose if something is an ad, who knows what product she could be promoting. She doesn't care about the actual quality and how they actually impacted her. She only cares about the money and the impact economically.
Okay, contacts. Wearing Vivi ring. Pink.
It would be bad enough if she was just a TikToker, but the fact that she is specifically a beauty influencer, people watch her because they want to become more beautiful, and we all know that the most insecure age is our teenagers. This is just unfathomably dangerous and very disturbing.
She launched a fake K-pop idol campaign pretending to debut at 29 years old, only to later admit it was a marketing stunt for her makeup brand and contact lenses.
And we see it time and time again. When an influencer only focuses on money and ads and promotion, it kind of destroys their brand. It kind of destroys them in general because they're not the same person anymore. They only care about the money. And sorry, we're going to quick go back to this before we continue with that and go on to some other controversies. But have you noticed that she chooses to put this girl with blonde hair and the bad one, with hair on her face and dark hair? Like, if it was just about skin, you wouldn't have added the hair differences. Clearly, this is a race thing. It is not simply just foundation making my skin lighter. Like, no, it's more than that because her hair is darker. Like, it's clearly R to the T. Like, I feel like this, like, should not be a crazy take. And I also couldn't help but notice she also drew, like, hair on the front of the mouth and around. That's just another thing to make girls insecure about. There's nothing, you should not be insecure about that. And that is also just, oh my gosh, there's so much wrong with this video. And the fact that she tries to make it like you're racist towards Asians if you find this wrong is insane to me. Because no, like, colorism is a serious problem and you are spreading these beliefs. And for another time in this video, I'm just going to say it again. I, once again, know that she's been influenced by, as she said, it's normal in her country, which, like, I get it. Different things are normal in different countries. Once again, that doesn't really make it right. But once again, I get it. She's been influenced by TikTok comments. There's many different things she's been influenced by. So I'm not saying she's this horrible, awful, terrible person. What I'm saying is she is just a person, but she, at the same time, is spreading very problematic beliefs and overall deserves to be criticized, because people deserve to be criticized when they're spreading these type of dangerous things. And back onto the brands talk and the talk about the ads, once again, kind of going off of what I said earlier, it's just very, very dangerous, especially when she is starting off her channel and starting off her, like, she has a huge influence. And when she's already spreading these beliefs that dark skin equals bad, dark hair equals bad, those type of people bad, and now she's promoting, like, now she also is focusing more on money than anything. Like, there's just nothing authentic. There's nothing authentic left for this channel, and it's really just all she cares about is money and spreading insecurities in order to get that money. And no matter how pretty you are, everyone has a right to be insecure. I mean, everyone probably is insecure about something. No matter how much you change yourself, you're probably always going to be insecure. But of course, there's nothing right about making people insecure. There's nothing right with pointing out certain things that are considered wrong. Having dark skin, having dark hair, having a certain chin shape, having a certain nose shape, pushing people to change themselves in any way, whether it's makeup or plastic surgery, because you tell them that a certain part of them is wrong and they probably didn't know that until you said that, is just wrong. Like, you don't know if people are insecure about that, but when you point it out and say, oh, this is bad, then you are making people actively insecure, and that is problematic. And if you've watched her and you're thinking to yourself, man, I've become more insecure, remember that everyone on the internet, if you post videos of yourself, you can be any amount of pretty. You can be considered the most beautiful girl to most people, 90%, but there's still going to be people in the comments that will make fun of some feature. Like, for example, Amelia, she's a 16-year-old girl I've talked about before, and she's considered beautiful. Almost all of her comments are people just saying, I wish I looked like you. You are ideal. You are beautiful. She fits a lot of beauty standards, like people, but I still easily found, when I was looking through her comments to put them in my video, I still easily found people pointing out her nose size, pointing out things which would obviously make me insecure, even if I think I'm the most beautiful like, it's so easy to push insecurities on the most pretty people. No one is outside of becoming insecure due to the internet, is what I'm trying to say here. Yes, it is safe to say she's been heavily influenced by the internet to look at herself a certain way. And a lot of people would consider her gorgeous. That's what makes her a good beauty influencer. She can look at people and say, hey, you want to look like me? Do this, do this. But as you can see, like, commenting on her eyes and stuff, the internet is such a toxic place to go to for beauty advice. And it's clear she's just going to make people feel worse about themselves at the end of the day. That is problematic, because I am into, hot take, not shaming people for anything. They get plastic surgery, I don't care. You did this, you put on makeup, I don't care. But once again, what I am against is shaming people into putting on makeup to cover up this, getting plastic surgery to do this, because you don't know if the people actually were looking for a solution to that. You don't know if they were insecure, but when you make that video, you will point out something that could make people insecure. And that is where we should draw the line, because it's just simply problematic. Because no, girl, it was never about you simply just wanting to fit your makeup better by making your skin lighter. If it were, you wouldn't have made the other girl, the problematic, the bad, ugly girl on the other side have dark hair. It was never about that. You may not have even thought about it yourself, but it's more than that. It's about race. It's about deeper things, and you are spreading insecurities. And reminder that people can't control their race, so you're spreading insecurities to probably thousands of girls with that color skin and that color hair, and they can't control it, and now they're going to want to make their skin lighter. And what are they going to do about their hair? Like, you are spreading so much dangerous information. It just makes me sad, because once again, I don't hate this girl because I know that she's been attacked on the internet. And I know what the internet does to young women, and it's heartbreaking and it's sad, but it simply doesn't give her an excuse to spread such dangerous information. Because I know deep down inside that she is insecure about different things, and I can't see them. Most of the time, a lot of us can't see them, but that nasty person who's probably 10 times uglier than her sitting behind the screen will point it out. And people always point it out. That is the danger of putting your face online. I mean, it's one of the many reasons why I haven't put my face online. I'll be honest, I know that people will point out things. People always do, especially when it is a woman in front of the screen. And I know people would find something and it would make me insecure, and it'd probably be something that would take some serious, stuff to change, some serious makeup to change. And it's just, I don't want that. That's one of the many reasons I just don't want people pointing out some flaws they see in me. Because it is so easy for some dude to sit behind a screen and type out the nastiest thing about my face, and he won't get any punishment for it. He can hide behind a user2289 account. It's just so easy. Or if I make a topic on someone who has a very unlikable fan base, they'll be tweeting photos of me on Twitter making fun of me. I know this because one of the videos I was inspired to talk about, Melanie Martinez, I was inspired by this other girl, and sure enough, because they were tweeting about me, they were also tweeting about this girl, and most of the comments were about her face and her eyebrows and different things. If she saw them, she'd probably be like, dang, these are all the problems with me, man, and she'd become more insecure. And of course, all those accounts, big surprise, were hiding behind, they didn't show their face. They probably are insecure themselves. But the internet is just such an easy way to become insecure, and it truly is very sad. And I'm not attacking her country in any way, because this is a problem in all countries. To some extent, all countries have a certain beauty standard we're supposed to be at, and some are more intense than others. Some are much more intense than others. But every country, to an extent, has a beauty standard. So I'm not saying it's Asia specifically. Of course, India, the US, everyone has some sort of beauty standard they have to fit. And that, in a way, has shaped her mind that she doesn't want to look dark-skinned. She doesn't want dark hair. That's ew, gross, and dirty. So it is not fully her fault that she has that belief, because that's what she's been raised on. But once again, it simply just isn't a reason. She should still not be spreading this message to so many young girls. Speaking of young girls, if you're a young girl watching and you don't know who to watch, there's a few different things you should look for. Look for someone who doesn't prey on insecurities, and they're very open about theirs, but they accept them. And I'm not saying go for Clara Dow. Do not go for her. Just do not. Trust me, do not. You can get updated on any of my videos on her if you don't know, but most of you probably know by now. But she, at first, was very, very unproblematic, and she was a good example at first when she was open about her flat chest and accepted it. But then it got to the point where she started shaming people that didn't look like her, so it became problematic. But at the core, at the beginning, she was not problematic. So look for someone who is open about their insecurities, but is at the same time, not ashamed of it, or they say you should not be ashamed. If someone starts pointing out insecurities and how to fix them, that is where you should kind of be like, ooh, I don't know if I should be watching this person as much. Because there really is no line. Once they become comfortable pointing out certain insecurities, there's no limit. They'll go for more and more and more, and soon you will yourself become insecure, because they will point out so many different things, it will become personal. And I know some of you young girls sitting behind the screens are thinking, no, I'm confident. I know I'm pretty. My friends say I'm pretty. I'm confident that wouldn't happen. No. As I said before, Amelia, literally the most pretty people you can think of, there are comments saying they're ugly. There's comments saying they're mid. There's comments pointing out their nose, ear size. You are never safe from a possible insecurity due to the internet. You are never safe. And when especially money is on the table and these people can get money from making you insecure, believe me, they will find a way. It's just very, very toxic, and it's best to avoid these people overall. And that's another thing to look out for. If your favorite body or beauty influencer starts promoting products but not being open about promoting them, making videos being like, oh, I love my skincare products that make me so happy, or I love these drinks I have, they make me so energized, and they seem to be promoting them a lot and saying how good they are, but they never actually say it's an ad, that can also be problematic for obvious reasons, because they could promote very unhelpful or overall problematic products without actually saying it's an ad, mainly only because they care about money. So, in other words, in different terms, they will be happy to make you as insecure as possible as long as they get that paycheck. And believe me, some of these ads will make them a lot of money, especially if they sell it a lot, so they'll be happy. They will easily sell their soul. And just remember, you don't know these people online. Don't trust them. You can never actually know someone. So even if they seem like the nicest influencer and they seem like they care about you and you have this connection and they feel like an older sister and they have such good advice, remember, you still should just be careful, because people sell their souls randomly. Like, they sell their souls for money all the time, and it's very, very sad. And once again, I'm not singling Jooshica out. She's one of the thousands of influencers, like, not being open about promoting products. And at the surface, it doesn't seem very scandalous, it doesn't seem bad, but it can be bad when it just becomes this more of a habit. And once again, anyone can have any type of ad. Like, it can be the most problematic, dangerous ad, and they can get a lot of money from it. So there's really no limit to how problematic this issue could be. And don't take this video as me saying beauty influencers or body influencers or people that give you advice on makeup and stuff are bad, because there's tons of influencers that are not problematic. The people that make problematic content are the ones that, once again, try to advertise insecurities. They try to make you insecure because it gets them something. If you are watching a video and someone seems to be trying to make you insecure, there's probably some benefit they'll get out of it. They'll go viral, they'll sell a product, and that's not someone you want to follow. We live in a society where you will never be pretty enough, and no one, in my opinion, is ugly. We just have a very, very cruel society. So you will never actually be pretty enough for the internet to leave you alone and not point out your insecurities. So just remember that. No one is safe from this, once again, and it's not worth supporting these people and following these people, because so many people just sell their souls for money, and it's just really depressing and sad to see. Just remember, especially if you are a teenager, you are the target of most of these beauty influencers. The bad ones, obviously, I'm not saying all are bad, once again, don't take this the wrong way, but you are an easy target because you are the correct age, you are insecure, you're just learning, you want to look a certain way, you want to look this special way, and they know exactly how to make you feel bad about yourself. So just try to remember that. Please don't take this video the wrong way. Once again, no hate against her, just pointing out the problems with her content. Big shout out once again to Keisha. Thank you so much. And with that, we'll be concluding the video. If you enjoyed this video or found it very helpful, please support or spread the message about the GoFundMe. With that, let's conclude the video. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm tired and I've been yapping for like 4 hours. And with that, we're done.